What factors motivated the founding members of the IIC to establish the organization, and what were the initial goals?
It's a great question. There are so many organizations in the world today that are focusing on standards in the industrial internet. Not only OMG, one of the organizations of which I'm the chair, but organizations like the World Wide Web Consortium and OASIS and many others. But what didn't exist before the Industrial Internet Consortium, the IIC, was an organization to bring together players to build test beds, to learn where are the transformational business outcomes, where are the disruptive new products and services. We were approached by a group of companies, and actually some government agencies as well, that wanted to find a way to, in an international process, a neutral, open process, and under antitrust cover, find partners to build test beds and learn from those test beds about transformational business outcomes. At the end of 2014, we were 120 companies, 3 approved test beds, 1 almost about to be approved, and we haven't stopped growing. We're at this point in mid-February almost at 150 members. There are 4 approved test beds, there are 12 others being discussed. So clearly this was exactly what the industry needed. And those visionaries and the companies that joined very quickly afterwards, like Bosch, realized that there's tremendous value to building from test beds and learning from test beds.
And you brought up a very good point in an earlier presentation. You addressed the lack of internet thinking in the context of industrial systems. So what are the actual benefits for implementing Industry 4.0 based technologies for stakeholders of the manufacturing value chain, such as the manufacturer, but also the end users?
We've seen enormous disruptions in entertainment, in news delivery, in books, in online purchasing, in banking, and so forth. But we haven't seen those disruptions in the industrial settings. We haven't seen them in the back end of banking. We haven't seen them in power generation and distribution. We haven't seen them in jet engine performance management. So many industries. Not because engineers in those industries are stupid, they're brilliant, but because they haven't applied the same thoughts of internet thinking, as I said in my presentation. What you get from internet thinking is you get cheap connectivity, you get cheap processing power, you get cheap big data, we're mostly calling it, but cheap analysis. And those things converge to create opportunities for predictive analytics that allow us to build eventually products that don't fail. It's a huge opportunity. So that's the convergence of those things is what's changing the world. And the realization that we can bring together the operational technology world and the information technology world and bridge that gap much better than we ever were able to do before using internet technology.
Right. And this is all very good information, but how can manufacturers actually get to the factory of the future? What are the first steps?
I'm asked all the time, what is the most disruptive market enabled by the industrial internet? And what are the first steps to getting there? Disruptive market, I can tell you the answer is, I have no idea.
Right.
From the perspective of manufacturers, they're going to need the support of companies that build manufacturing devices to bridge that gap from operational technology to informational technology. The first step is to find a small project and prove that it will work in your factory. Completely replacing all of your factory with Industry 4.0, with industrial internet, that's not going to happen. The factories are too expensive and you have real costs and you need to show real return. What will happen is, for example, connecting your programmable logic controller to your inventory management system directly, rather than through what's happens today, which is primarily SneakerNet. Print it out over here, walk across the plant, type it in over there. It's going to be what's already happening in the jet engine business, bringing that information from jet performance directly connected through Wi-Fi on the airport to benchmark data in the jet engine manufacturer and getting the result immediately emailed to the maintenance base. Step by step, we're going to see small projects that change the world. I will add, most organizations are worried about changing the world because they know it's going to change their markets. But as I always say, it's much better to cannibalize your own market than to wait for someone else to do it for you.
Exactly, yes. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
I am enjoying it tremendously. I'm sure I will. Thank you.
You.